If you put a countercade on a stand on a counter, is it still a countercade? We'll try and answer questions such as this tonight on Bog Panda. And I am Kelly at KELLYTHUL on social media. And joining me, as always,
I am Dr. Mike at Official Pagan on social media, and I'm proud to be here helping Kelly bring to you the hard hitting stories. You guys are going to be so proud that you're going to want to like, subscribe, leave a couple of comments, separate comments. Then you're going to want to hit up our merch store, pick up some merch, come back, see what other things we have to offer, and I'll tell you what we have to offer. The world's shortest podcast, hard no, comes free with your free subscription to Bog Panda. Jump on that.
yeah, and then, what's a fun party game is to circle, you have all your friends come around the computer, the laptop, and, look around and say, what's the longest video on Bog Panda? And then watch it. And, uh, and then what's the second longest video on Bog Panda? And then watch that one.
Maybe you should just make a playlist of all the videos
Yeah.
and just let that run.
We should do it. We should have like a long ass video playlist just, so we can more easily point our listeners to that, our
Yes,
viewers to
yes.
that. So subscribers. So as always, a source of great inspiration for us is the awesome, incredible MadLittlePixel YouTube channel, which if you're not subscribed to, you really should be because the dude brings it on a regular basis. Lots of cool information, stays on top of things. Love the way he delivers information. He's straightforward, doesn't seem to have an agenda beyond telling folks what he thinks and the good and the bad about different things. And so he's just fantastic. So we're big fans. And a lot of times he'll hit on something that we end up talking about here on Bug Panda. And that's happening again. So we'll have a link to this video off of Mad Little Pixel. The countercades, and we've talked about these from Arcade One Up before, that are basically scaled down version. If you don't have room to put an At Games Legend or one of the Arcade One Up big units in a location, you're not blessed with a dedicated arcade room like Mike is, or like I at least have got a small subsection of a basement available to me to use. If you just don't really have the room, these countercades are kind of an interesting option where you can get some of that same arcade-like experience, but a little smaller form factor, and it can sit on a counter. A gentleman named G.I. Joel, we'll include a link to his site as well, has come up with is manufacturing and selling stands for your countercade. So when all said and done, you end up having about a 3/8 sized video console or video game. So what are your thoughts on does this solve a need for you? Do you think this is a brilliant idea? What did you think about the stamps for the countercades?
So first, I have to thank you for everything you just said because I'll be able to pull out two separate samples, one of you saying blessed with and the other one a big unit. So thank you in advance for that. Um, Also too, so this is kind of weird to me, and it I think it looks cool, but if I start to think about it, it doesn't make any sense to me because first off, the countercades, for anyone who doesn't know, that's arcade one-ups like bar top style editions. So, they're meant to be placed on a table or a bar top. They're small, they take up, less real estate, like Kelly was saying. So if that's the direction you're going, it doesn't make sense to then buy a stand for it that takes up more real estate. And especially if you have a couple of these things, you're getting to a point where it would have been more cost effective and space effective to get in at games or a full size arcade one up. It just wouldn't make sense to go that route. That being said, these do look cool. So I am kind of torn on it. So I do think it looks cool, but functionality wise, I just don't understand where it fits in.
Yeah, I think and they look good quality as well. And so
Yeah.
they come with a couple decals so you can just do half of it or do a full up and down the body with the full if the with the stand attached, so you can get some good looks, and they look really sharp. But yeah, this the thing I struggle with is because if the form factor, adding a stand to a countercade, so a countercade sitting on a table, you sit down and play it typically. Maybe you're standing up at it if it's like an island. Um, so it might be a little bit low for there, but you end up putting a stand on it, and I can pretty much guarantee you, you've now and you keep it on a table. You've now made it basically unplayable unless you have a lot of friends from the NBA because it's just it's not gonna work anymore. But boy, it looks good. And
Yeah.
so if your goal is, well, I don't really want to play these countercades, I just want to create a display and kind of have, hey, look, here's like a 3/8 world of video arcades. It would look fantastic. I mean, I think it would look really great. But yeah, I struggle to really make it playable. If you, let's say you had three tabletops and you got three stands for them, you're now going to need to build another riser to bring them up to playable height, um, with then the stand and then the unit from there. And that seems like it's running contrary to some of your objectives. If you place well, this table's the only place I can put it. It's not going to be on the table anymore if you put that stand on it, unless you just want people to look at it. And if you put it on the ground, it's not going to be a real playable experience either.
Yeah, maybe that's what this is. Maybe it's really more about aesthetics and somebody who just wants to have sort of a mini arcade look to a particular room, but isn't going to really play games that way. For me personally, that's not a route that I would go. I enjoy playing all of my games. Like that's why I have them. I like playing. I'm in my game room every single day, playing something or playing Super Console X or emulating Jaguar on my laptop or whatever it might be. So I'm playing some kind of retro game for a little bit each day, pretty much. Um, and again, I'm more of a retro game guy, so it's not like I'm involved in some long campaign with a newer game. So it's not like I'm, sitting for hours at a time. There's nothing wrong with that. I just like the ability to just kind of pick up and play that a lot of retro games have. So this just kind of works against everything that I'm trying to do with my game room. Again, though, I do think it looks cool. So
Yep.
if there's some need that this fills for you, I get it visually. I would be curious though if anybody watching this, if they would get it and how they would implement this in the space. Because like Kelly's saying, like you could build some sort of a riser and put a few of these on there. But again, why did you get a countercade? You should have gotten a full size unit. It just wouldn't, I don't know. It doesn't seem cost effective. It doesn't seem like you're saving on real estate. So I just don't understand. And I think Kelly probably hit on it. Like if you were aesthetically trying to build some sort of a display or something like that, that makes sense.
Yeah. And and you can make it a playable display with that additional riser. And so maybe that's the product we need to come out with, is the riser to raise these up so that
The
they can be
riser
playable.
riser.
The riser, yeah. And put a nice kind of arcade carpet across the top of it to do that. That'd be a nice display. So
See, now that sounds cool.
yeah, that'd be good.
Maybe I
That'd be a
do
good
need
way to
this.
go. So yeah, so let us know, particularly you Countercade tabletop owners out there. Is this something? Are we missing something here? Or would how would you implement it, and is it going to take you out of being able to play it because it's now more of a display item, which is kind of an expensive display item. You can get the little teeny guys for less and put them on a shelf. You could do that. So something to think about. But we're open, like to understand if we're missing something there. Most important thing is there are coin slots
Yeah.
on the stand as required by law. So we certainly wouldn't want to sell it short for that. And it's nice. It's got because apparently the at least the arcade one up tabletops speaker comes out the bottom, sound comes out the bottom, and so the new stand that you would get is configured in a way to not make that a problem, have some sound coming out from the front. So like I said, it looks like a great product for what it does. I'm just not sure what it does would help me out much
Yeah.
as a tabletop, but that's me.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in the same place with it. But I would love to hear from you guys watching this, what you think of it and how you would implement this in your space.
Bog Panda.